So, for today's recording, we are going to do a recap on Unexpected. Obviously, you're clicking on this because you know what the show is. It's on TLC on its third season. This is for episode 1 and 2, because both aired the same evening, I believe, or the other one came up shortly after. I only watched one, watched the other one a few days later. Anywhooser, let's get right into it. So, the first mom we have, starting with the first episode, is Hailey. So, I'm going to run through her story during both episodes. So Hailey comes on the screen with her boyfriend Matthew. Hailey's one of the new moms, and Matthew looks like the love child of Machine Gun Kelly. He even talks and has like the same mannerisms. Well, it's an insult to Machine Gun Kelly. Anyways, they say that they had sex before they even kissed. I don't think this is a normal thing. And he moved in with her. He had kind of like a rocky situation at home. So he moved in with her and her mother, which Hailey's mom, towards the beginning, seems kind of like a light bulb's not shining so bright in the tanning bed. And he says, well, I wanted to get my noodle wet and not have a piece of plastic in the way when talking about having sex with her. Let's run through that. First off, how many plastic condoms have you worn in your lifetime? Most are made of latex. I don't know to be plastic condoms unless you're wearing like a grocery sack or trying to wear a rain poncho or something. Yeah, and he says, I want to get my noodle wet. Take a shower. Get your noodle wet. You're not fat. You don't gotta like lift it up. You'll get the noodle wet. And they go to meet his sister at the ice cream place. Him and Hailey do. And the sister stands him up. Well, stands them both up. And Hailey's a bit nervous to meet the sister. And dumbass boyfriend comes in and says, well, my sister's like a cheetah, and Hailey's more like a hippo just laying around. My God. She's pregnant with your kids, stupid. I think this dude's been getting high with old Megamind Max, who we'll talk about in a few minutes, is over there with Chloe. So that's the end of episode 1 for them. We get into episode 2, and they're about to go to a birthing class. Now, before all that, Hailey's mom, I noticed, is like waiting on her hand and foot. Can you give me some soda? Can you give me a piece of pizza? I hope it's not really like that all the time. Maybe this is like a I feel sorry for you pregnant thing, but it's very enabling. You're going to turn her into Michaela if you're always acting like that with your kid. So they go to the birthday class, and Hailey finally gets to meet Matthew's sister, Katie. She shows up to it. And then Hailey's mom's there with her, so it's the 4 of them. Hailey gets mad because Matt wants to partner with, I'm going to call him Matt, I don't like saying Matthew. Might call him Machine Gun Kelly Colson, that's Machine Gun Kelly's first name, just for future reference. So he wants to partner with his sister, and so she gets mad about that, but whatever. And he just goes about asking all these dumbass questions in the class, like I can't even, I'll have to attach in here a picture I took of him, because his face was just like, just asking all these stupid questions. He gets on this exercise ball, like a lot of expecting moms may, or you may use it for workouts, falls backwards. I think he knocks over a table with him as he's going backwards. Oh my God. I mean, I'm not even a teenager, and I'm embarrassed for Hailey. I'm not embarrassed for him. He's either high or he's just really ignorant. I'm embarrassed for that girl. Hailey's boyfriend proceeds to, like, on the interview where they're all on a couch, it looks like they're all in, like, a finished basement couch in their interviews, by the way. I don't think it's really their real basements. He proceeds to say that Hailey's mom had issues as a child. I think he said she was abducted, and from that she has post-traumatic Down syndrome. It's PTSD, not PTDS. Think Matt's got dyslexia. Might want to go get tested for that. That's about all I remember from those two for this episode. So we're going to go over to Michaela. Starting in episode 1. So Michaela is like 36 weeks pregnant with her second child at 18. Good job on preventing teen pregnancy, TLC. Living with her grandparents. So her and Kaylin had a house together. And if you remember towards the end of season 2, she wanted to come move back in with her grandparents, complaining that Kaylin's not home because God forbid he has a job. And, the grandparents help her more. No, the grandparents enable her more to sit on her phone all day while her great-grandma watches the kid. Timmy, of course, because the other one's still cooking. And this idiot is trying to, she's looking up ways to induce labor and is looking up castor oil because she's so sick of being pregnant. Well, Maybe if you're not pregnant twice in the last, 18 months or less, you might not have that problem. Do you know how to avoid that problem? I mean, do we need to have a talk, take you to a class? And her and Kaylin are still together, but as usual, they're not stable in the relationship. It seems like the way the show portrays it, it's mostly her fault. Oh, Kaylin's working, so I'm going to go live with my grandparents because he's not home all the time. That's the real world. You think it's going to get much better with a second kid? I don't know why either one of you would bring a second kid into your messed up situation anyways. I mean, you called off your wedding, which who knows when she fell pregnant. I mean, there's not really a definite timeline as to when the segments were filmed last season. There probably is, I haven't looked into it, where the segments were filmed last season to when she actually had her daughter. We know when she had it, but how far apart those were to see when conception was. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. That's about all I remember from her from episode 1. She wasn't on there a whole lot, actually. Now, episode 2, she's on there a little bit more. So we'll get into that. So we start off, and Michaela is going to an ultrasound. Her mom picks her up. Her mom with the messed up eyebrows. Her mom, the previous drug user that's still an idiot. The mom that last season wanted her to move in so she could pay the bills for her in a basement covered with animal feces with electrical cords hanging down. Any hooser. And the mom's in there trashing Hailey, which it seems like this family's going off of whatever Michaela says. I don't get it. Why wouldn't you form your own opinions? Like, if I have a daughter, and if my daughter was to say, oh, my child's dad's doing this or this, and I'm the one footing the bill, I would look into it a little bit more. But no, it's a whole family that kind of aggs it on. I think it's Shannon's mom's name, and then the grandparents, they're all just talking about, oh, what a deadbeat Kaylin is, but Michaela tells him, oh, don't come over, or, oh, you're not going to see the kid. Well, if he's being told not to, and he hasn't gone to court to establish his rights, which he needs to, by the way, what can you do? You can't call him a deadbeat if he's being kept from his kids. Again, go to court, because clearly she uses these kids as a pawn. I like Kaylin's mom, too. I'll throw it out there. Shelly and her mole. I like her. She keeps it real. Anyway, so they go to the appointment, and then I guess Michaela scheduled a couples massage weeks prior before they really got into their issues, because they're still together. And she's like, nope, I'm mad at Kaylin. He's not coming. I'm going to do it by myself. Okay, you showed him. I don't know many dudes that are gung-ho about going to massages, but whatever. So she does that. And then the rest of the episode, you kind of see Kaylin still in I think it's either an apartment or a full-blown house. One way or the other. So he's in there by himself. He has dogs. I think there's like 3 dogs. And he says that Michaela was the one that wanted the dogs and brought them home. So Kaylin has the dogs. Michaela didn't take them with her or bother to rehome them. She couldn't take care of them. And Michaela's over with the grandparents, of course. And his mom comes over to visit, bring him some food. And he calls Michaela to just be like, hey, what's going on? You know, baby's coming soon. We need to get something figured out. You know, you need to come back here where the kids have more room and we're together and we're, you know, co-parenting and being together as a family. Because even though they called out the wedding, I think they're still technically engaged. They didn't call it the engagement, just the wedding. And so then she snaps back at him and says, well, you're the one that wanted the dogs. She's an idiot that brought them in. The fuck she mean? And so then they're on the couch interviewing, and Kaylin's just making statements, you know, about the issues with the relationships. Issue with their relationship. He's not saying anything bad about her. She's like, oh, you're calling me a bad mom. He's like, I'm not calling you a bad mom. So it goes back and forth like that, and he's finally just like, throws his hand up, he's like, I can't do this. And to me, they're not a good match. They need to stay separated. It's just sad that there's 2 kids brought into the situation. But no, they're not good together. And I hope we find someone really good for him. On to the other new mom. Well, there's another one, but she hasn't been introduced yet. So I'm just going off the ones we have on the show so far. So we have Tyra. In my opinion, she's the trashiest one so far. And I mean out of all 3 seasons. Her sister, I think she just turned 18. Her sister is or was a teenager. And just had a baby. And then Tyra finds out she's pregnant. I think they both found out they were pregnant. I think while the other sister was pregnant, or it may have been a little bit after. Anyways, kids close in age. And Tyra finds out she's pregnant with this baby while she's about 20 weeks along, she says. But give her a break, guys. It's hard to remember a birth control pill when you cheer 4 days a week and go to school and work. It's tough stuff. I mean, she can't even take care of a baby, guys. She said it herself. She can't take care of a baby. She can't remember her shoes. She then says she had a miscarriage before this baby, but she didn't think about birth control. And that's about what I remember from her story that point in time. So we'll get to the next episode, which is pretty much her baby shower. She does have an ultrasound, and you can see, like, that baby's just stretched her out. She is red all over. Like, it is like a deep stretch mark. I had some of those too. I ended up having to see a dermatologist for it because they were, they wouldn't come off with the cocoa butter, with different essential oils. I'm not sure what she tried. I just want to throw it out there because I haven't seen other moms really, that I know, with stretch marks like that. So I feel like I can relate to her on that level. So we get to the baby shower, and her boyfriend, I don't remember his name right now. Online we're calling him Broke Drake. We get to the baby shower, and some of his friends come, which is pretty cool because, like, they're guys. This is a co-ed baby shower. The one Max Megamind so desperately wanted last season. And the friends come with the diapers, which is pretty cool. And sadly, none of Tyra's friends come, which upsets her. She brings up that people hung out with me until I became pregnant and that I'm going to be a mom. And that sucks as a teenager. I was a teenage mom myself. I had my baby at 17. But luckily, and I wasn't very social like her as a cheerleader or anything like that, but the friends that I did have, for the most part, stuck by me. And they kind of got that, hey, we're not going to hang out all the time. Maybe we'll come by the house and see you and the baby. And then maybe every once in a while we'll go out, but it was never like they weren't understanding. And it's funny because now, I know this ain't about me, I'm just throwing my experience in there. Now I'm older, and my child's older, and she does a lot for herself. I didn't end up having more children. I just wanted that one, long story short. And my friends have kids now. So now I'm on the other end of the spectrum. It's crazy. My kid's going to graduate in like 8 years. Oh my God. Add that up. I suck at math. But yeah, they're out, with their kids, and I'm the one that's like, hey, I want to go do something. Oh yeah, well, they have kids, so I'll invite them or try to figure out something. Maybe we'll go to a zoo or a playground or something instead of going and doing shots. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm going to rewind here real quick because I did forget. They were over at either like her aunt's or her house before the baby shower, putting together like these baby shower games. They had this diaper pong thing where they stapled diapers to a board. Like, they opened them a little bit, and you were able to throw ping pong balls in there, which is a really cool idea. If I ever plan a baby shower, I'm stealing that one. So creative. Anyways, and the aunt was a teen mom. The cousin she has a cousin that they introduced on there as well. So the cousin was over there that just had a baby not too long ago. The sister, Tyra, her mom. And the way these three girls talk, they're like, oh, the babies are going to go to the park together, and oh, we can do this and this with the baby and the cute outfits, and they just think it's going to be a good old time. This reminds me of the Pregnancy Pact. I saw the movie. I know it was based off of like an actual news headline, but it seems like these girls had a pregnancy pact. I don't care what you say. That's just what it seems like to me. And yeah, that was about it for that episode on Tyra. Now we're going to get to Chloe. She's the other girl that's back from last season. I expected her to be back. I expected Michaela. They bring the drama. I'm disappointed Lexus isn't back, even though her storyline was kind of flat last season. Maybe that's why, but I really liked her storyline the first season. I'm not surprised Laura didn't come back. Laura was boring. I fast-forwarded through her segments, to be honest. With her balding boyfriend, which they're married now, having another kid. Good for them. Woohoo! I was slightly surprised Emily didn't come back, but I'm glad. I could not stand her mom and like that may I speak to your manager haircut she had going on. And the psychological abuse on there I saw with her daughter. Like, the girl's pregnant, and then she was a new mom, and you had to rip on her. Anyways, I won't get into last season. So, Chloe's back with Megamind. And we start off where she's picking up her baby Ava from daycare. She's about 6 months now, I think. And the baby ends up having pink eye. And so she takes that baby and picks up Megamind. Because, of course, he's a loser and doesn't drive. Or can't drive. Hell if I know. And since then, Cupcake got arrested like he did at the end of that last season. I'm not sure. I don't think the drug test came up yet where we all know he was found with drugs in his system. I believe fentanyl, which I could be wrong, but fentanyl is, I believe, what killed Mac Miller. So, I really hope if that's what was in his system that he's getting clean for the sake of his child. He needs to focus on getting that head shape fixed. Maybe put on a helmet, but I think it's too late at this point in his life. Maybe try out a Hollywood extra egghead looking thing. So, yeah, we're talking about the legal issues there. So she picks up Megamind, and the baby's crying because, of course, she's probably in pain with the pink eye. And God knows how long they were sitting in the car with it raining. Megamind states, I only see Ava for 4 hours out of the 12 hours in a day. I mean, I'm from Illinois, and we had Common Core math, and there's 24 hours in a day, I'm pretty sure. He then clarifies that it's the 12 hours that she's awake, so somebody should have said in the first place, so now I'm going to make fun of him. And he goes and talks some more trash about Chloe's family, which a lot of people say they can't stand Chloe's mom. And she is overbearing. Well, she was last season. Overbearing. And that annoyed me, but I liked him. I mean, especially her stepdad, just like, I know there's a lot of men out there that step up for another person's child as their own, and round of applause for them. And a lot of them are like like Chloe's dad, where, you know, he loves that child more than anything in the world. He doesn't view her any differently. I think it's awesome. And, you know, he's very fiercely protective of his wife. I think they got a good dynamic there. And, I mean, I think her mom deserves to have somewhat of a say in the whole situation. They're financially, they're supporting Chloe in every single way. And sometimes she comes off as ungrateful. I'm not saying they should get a say in her relationship, but they deserve to be respected more than they are. Even if she's a teenager, she should understand it more so now that she's a mother. So finally, though, I'll give Chloe this. Max is sitting there talking smack about her mom, and Chloe gets up and is pretty much like, you know, I can't stand you when you do this. Why would you say that? She helps me out so much. About time, girl. Stand up for it. If Max can't put up with it, he can go out the door. It wasn't meant to be. So Ava has pink eye. Gam Gam, as she calls it, comes home and checks it out. Poor baby, they put the mess in the eye. Chloe's mom calls herself Gam Gam, and Chloe's dad called himself Pop Pop. I like to see in the comments how many of you have a Gam Gam or a Pop Pop. Pop Pop makes me think of a neighborhood I grew up in. Pop Pop, gun time. So Chloe has to stay home with Ava the next day because obviously she can't go back to daycare until a certain period of time has passed, so she's not contagious to the other children. Which I'm curious, when she picked up Ava in the previous episode, how long she was in daycare before being picked up, if they isolated her in a room. I'm sure they took the right precautions. Daycares probably deal with that all the time. But just curious. And the rest of the episode, they're pretty much talking about Ava's going to be getting baptized over the weekend. Good God, hopefully you have the medicine in that girl before she goes to, because it's like a Catholic one. So I guess they kind of dip the water and like put it over her face. At least not a Christian one where they dunk you full blown in the tank. Or many other religions, not just Christian, but contaminate the water or something, fuck if I know. And how Max can go to the baptism, but he's not allowed to talk to her family, and they make a deal out of it. Like, they make kind of like an ordeal out of it. I think they were looking for drama, because if Max had it that, like, if he had it his way, he would not talk to them. And I am sick already. I am sick. He needs to be canceled after episode 2 of this season. Max's dad just, like, condoning his son and what he's doing, being hateful himself about Chloe's parents, and complaining about the situation. Like, shut up. They're the ones that extended the branch, and you ditched them after the baby shower. You didn't want to come over. You were mad about what they said about your kid, and we thought you were going to stand them up bowling. Yeah. Alright, so this is the first 2 episodes then. I will be back with another podcast next week of episode 3. See ya.